Yo, what's going on? I'm Sweet Phil and welcome into 250 Andariel runs on Project Diablo 2. Just to go over the questions I'm frequently asked, I had between 100 and 200 magic find, and I keep bouncing back and forth between a cold sorceress and a fire combustion sorceress. The cold is much safer with Frozen Orb, because then you can kill all the minions down there by Andariel, and it's much more dangerous, but the fire combustion can actually be really fun and actually melt Andy instantly if you do it right. I did a combustion sorceress build guide a few videos back. I'll put a link to that down in the description if you want to check that out. If you want to catch drops like these live, head on over to Twitch, give me a follow. With that stuff out of the way, let's get after it. Found my first good item, only 3 runs into this highlight video, and I'm trying to use a Fireball or tough sled in here though with all the fire immune minions around Andariel. I get a unique ballista, and that is of course the classic Burrs. Not waiting long for the next good drop at run 4, still shooting them fireballs at Andariel, and the minions are still getting in my way. But here I get a set mesh belt, and that's going to be the belt for the Talrasha set. And I get a great roll on here with the 20% magic bind. But the slow streak starts early here at run 21. Yes, you see that correctly. 16 runs later. But I pick up a few items here, and one of them is a Grand Charm. And that Grand Charm ends up being a skiller, 1 to masteries for the Barbarian. Unfortunately, that unique ring doesn't end up being better. Just a low Nagel. Here we are at run 22, and you can see around run 20, I switch to the Frozen Orb. It is way safer, and it kills all the minions around Andariel. That way, you don't have to deal with them. These unique boots are Goblin Toes, and they're even better in PD2 than they are in original Diablo. The drops are coming fast here now, run 24. I get a unique Curus. Here from Andariel, I'll save and exit. Hey Deckard Kane, why don't you ID this stuff for me? That unique Curus is still Duriel Shell, and it looks remarkably similar to what it did before. Still useful with that life, strength, cannot be frozen, and all res. Run 30, Andy gives me a huge drop. I was secretly hoping I would find one of these, but not optimistic because it is kind of rare to find. But here I get a unique Shaco, and of course you know what that is because everyone simply knows that as the Shaco. You can see the look on my face and my reaction right here, how excited and stoked I am to find this item here in PD2. Now, I've gotten a few of these in my day, but you can never get enough of them. You see it right there, folks. I actually dropped a like button click, and you will not believe it once I ID this, and it's +1 to the YouTube algorithm. Always love getting me a like button click. Here we're jumping a few runs later here to run 33, and I get a set gloves that are actually good here for the caster. These gloves are, of course, going to be Trang's gloves with the 20% faster cast rate, and some cold res, and a nice roll with the maximum 15% to poison skill damage. Getting a unique amulet here off of Andy at run 41. Who knows what it could be? Who knows how they changed stuff here on PD2? Let's see what it is. It is the Rising Sun, good for a fire source, and they added this minus to enemy fire res. Double drop here on the next run at run 42. I get another set of Trang's gloves, and the death math could actually be useful sometimes. It is Black Horn's face because it has lightning absorb on it and prevent monster healing. That's just 8 runs later, I found another Trang's gloves. Well, what would any good PD2 player do with another set of Trang's gloves? Of course we're gonna corrupt those things. Here we go with the double click. Let's see what happens. Ooh, you can tell by my face. They changed colors, so you know what happened there. It turned into a random rare. At least I get 35k gold, huh? Still rocking that Frozen Orb Sorceress here at run 48. And here's a really sick double drop. Unique Ceremonial Javelins and a unique Grand Charm. Both two items I am super stoked to find here. The ceremonial javelins, of course, Titans. Not a very good roll, but still glad to get some. And then you need Grand Charmers, of course, Geats, which also isn't particularly a great roll, but what you gonna do? This is a little baby drop highlight here, but it is the first pair of Frostburn gauntlets I've found here on PD2. They are a little bit better now that they added -2 enemy fire and to cold res, making them a little more useful. Here's one of my old school favorites, so I gotta highlight it. It's a helm with dual res, some hit recovery, and a bunch of other stuff, magic find included, and that is the Steel Skull. And for absolutely no apparent reason, I decided to slam my other pair of Triangle gloves just because. And of course, another 35,000 gold. And just super quick, I do love this helm, so I know it's only used sometimes in certain situations, but this unique cast, once again, is the Steel Skull. I mean, look at it, it's a beautiful thing, right? Here's another one of those legendary sweet failures. I forgot to hit the record button. But as you can see here, I found a unique set of light gauntlets. And those, of course, going to be Mage Fists, which are still great for those casters. Here's around the time I decided to switch from Frozen Orb to Fireball and Combustion, and I actually get a crazy triple drop here. I get a Whirlstone Shard, I get a unique ring, and I get those unique claws for the Assassin. And those are, of course, the classic. Everybody knows them, everybody loves them. Great all-around claw, Bartuk's Cutthroat. Here at run 90, I get another semi-common unique, but this is actually the first one here I've found on PD2. And that's going to be that Magic Find belt that everyone knows and loves, Gold Wrath. Here at run 95, I get another pair of those unique gauntlets, and then once again, of course, they're Mage Fists. And once you find a second pair of something, you know what I'm about to do with them? Let's slam them. Alright, 1, 2, 3, let's go. Let's see what we get. They turned red, so you know it's another 35 gold. Brick. I run 97 here. I get a good armor for the casters. PD2 is pretty new, so with the armor with 1 to all skills and cast rate, hit recovery, Cohagen's Wisdom is pretty good here in Project Diablo 2. On the very next run here, I actually get an amulet I didn't even realize you could find off of Andariel. I thought it had a higher item level than it did. This is a pretty rare one, and that is Seraph Sim. I'm not sure how much they changed it. I could look it up, but why don't you go down in the comments and let me know what they changed on this one. Smack dab right at run 100, I get a unique ring, and this time it is actually a good one. It is not quite my SOJ, but it's real close. This one is a BK ring. Unfortunately rolled with the worst possible life leech. Run 102 gives me another one of those unique ballistas, and of course, just as before, this is the Burzia Kandanu. We'll just call it the Burst. Just a few runs after that other good unique ring, I get another good unique ring here. You do end up finding quite a few of these if you play for a long time, but this is the first one I found here in PD2, and that is a Raven Frost. Awesome with that. Cannot be frozen. I know this is 250 Andariel runs, but anything I find down here hunting Andariel counts towards the drop highlights. And here I get a unique bow knife, and this is awesome here in PD2. And that's the Whiz Spike. All that resistance, cast rate, still amazing. And of course, since I got another one, why don't I go ahead and slam it? And it doesn't brick this time, but it gives me just one open socket. You know what? That doesn't really do a whole lot. Let's just go ahead and swap it out and corrupt the other one too and see what happens. Don't brick, don't brick, don't brick. And that adds 5 to life after each kill. Actually kind of useful. And he gets me a pretty rare drop here. It's only the second one I've found here in PD2, and this is a Larzix Puzzle Box. Still got to think of what I want to use this stuff on. Here's another noteworthy drop, but this time not off an Andariel again, but a Grand Charm falls off one of these carvers over here. After I get around to IDing it, it is 1 to shape-shifting skills for the Druid. The next noteworthy drop, run 158, is another item used for the Druid, and this is a unique totemic mask, and that's going to be Jalal's main. Still a very, very good option, a great all-around helm for the Druid. Now this is a pretty crazy drop here in PD2 already. Usually a lot of items you wouldn't want to get ethereal, but here an ethereal shaft stop is an amazing option for a mercenary. And this is going to be the third one of these I drop here in this highlight video, but is once again set heavy bracers, great for them casters, and that is Trance Gloves. Not long ago I found that S shaft stop, and here, just a few runs later, I find a normal version. Now I have one for my mercenary, and for my normal character. A pretty cool double drop here at run 205. 2 items that I didn't have yet, but now I do, of course. Both useful. They are, of course, going to be Gore Riders and Ghoulhide. Ghoulhide used to not be that useful, but they added some IS to it, making it significantly more useful for any of your melee characters. Run 208, a pretty good rare item. I've been actually looking for stuff like this for a very long time, even in Diablo 2. And these end up being 3 40 javelins, so you can get up to 440 javelins. I actually threw them out because I looked so quick I didn't even realize. But getting the high AS with the javelin spear skills is pretty cool. Run 219 here, I get another item. Cool to knock off the Grail. Definitely one that's useful for those Amazons. This is the Racer Tail Belt that'll add 33% to Pierce, helping out either those boa skills or javelin skills. First noteworthy rune here, just on the very next run at run 220. Gotta take some potions so I don't get taken out here, and one of the minions running around when they die drops me my first Ist rune, the highest rune I've found up until this point. So YouTube's going to put a couple videos right over here that they think you're going to like. But before you go, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe button. Free way to support the channel, help me out in the YouTube algorithm. Hope you enjoyed the video. Peace out, YouTube, and I'll catch you in the next one.